It's back to school time in South Korea. The nation's reopening practices for schools, professional baseball, concerts, and more are being closely watched by other countries. South Korea has been an object of international admiration ever since it contained one of the first COVID-19 outbreaks outside of China. So, how did it do it?
The use of masks is something what people really follow from the beginning.
Stefan Klingebiel, director of the United Nations Center in Seoul, points to self-discipline and efficient testing and tracing measures. He was himself tested for the virus when he flew to Seoul in March.
At the end of March, test capacities in many countries, that was really a limitation, and Korean government did it for all arriving passengers.
Klingebiel received overnight accommodation and food while waiting for his test results, which came back negative the next morning. The government also asked him to download 2 apps to report his movements and health status during his next 14 days of quarantine.
So when I was late, for example, I received a call from those ministries, and I was asked to really submit my latest data.
Like Klingebiel, Min-ho Kim was tested for the virus when he returned to South Korea from Chicago.
They put us in a hotel, they got us free testing, and they gave us food for that.
Besides testing and tracing, Kim says South Korea's successful COVID-19 response comes down to the population's willingness to trust the government with special powers in a time of crisis.
One thing that is being overlooked is that how much South Korean citizens are willing to sacrifice their personal liberty just a little bit to have everything under control.
For example, the government sends emergency texts alerting citizens of nearby cases of the coronavirus.
It is a little annoying for sure because my music gets interrupted all the time.
The whereabouts of every single confirmed patient is also available to the public.
We have the capacity of quarantining every patient if there is a case.
Another radical measure is how the country controls the price, supply, and demand of masks.
We can only get 3 masks a week. There is actually a day that you can get masks according to your date of birth.
But at the end of the day, Kim says it's all about South Koreans doing their part to keep the virus at bay. That also helps explain why South Korea never needed to impose a hard lockdown in the first place.
People understand that's just not a one-man endeavor. It's something that the whole community have to engage in.
For Newsy, I'm Ben Chamisso.